Yeah? So Justin, what's your plan for tomorrow with the garden?
Well, I'm hoping to be able to take out all the electric fencing down, and then I'm gonna mow the park. I need to mow from here, this area here, and then the area around the garden, plus a little bit over by the pear tree in front of the chicken coop, and then reshape all the fencing to go around our garden space, plus the area that we're going to include as a patch, so that we can do like squashes and watermelons and cantaloupe and things like that.
Okay, so when you reposition the fence, how are you thinking about doing that?
Running it as close to the wood chips as I can for this area, and then just come straight across and then straight over and make it as square as possible, but it's not going to be square because our garden beds are kind of offset, and so it kind of made our wood chips a little angled. So I'm gonna try to do my best to keep the fence line on the wood chips, but I may do a little bit extra, include a little bit of grass just to make it a little more square per se, but not going to make it perfectly square, because as you can tell, it's not perfectly square right now.
No, this was, well, it's still a work in progress. So under this tarp, we don't have any fertilizer and we haven't added any compost, and that's the same situation under this tarp. But aren't we thinking about going ahead and including that in our patch for this year as well?
For part of it, yes.
Okay.
Maybe not the whole thing, probably not the whole thing of this one, but part of it.
Okay. So
the fencing will probably come down, not exactly sure, but I'm thinking probably down to here. So,
okay.
Maybe halfway down.
So basically we'll have to see how much fencing we have.
Yes.
Because, I mean, this is a pretty good sized space, but we actually have more fencing left over because we had to overlap on some of our fencing.
Yeah, we had to overlap on the panel over there and then 2 over here. So
see, right over there and then over here. So that'll allow us to
extend at least 3 panels.
Yeah. And like Justin was saying, he's going to be pulling it this way a little bit and cutting off some of that grassy area, so that'll also give us more room to extend it out here.
The grassy area right here will still be there, which we'll need to lay down cardboard and wood chips at some point, but if we don't get to it soon, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to mean we're going to have to put the fence down and mow occasionally. So
yeah. So we may or may not plant where the tarps are that we haven't had the compost pit. We most definitely will plant in the areas where the compost pit has been.
Where Malachi is.
Where Malachi is. And then this darker patch right here.
Put it down. No.
And then maybe even right here, because the chickens have basically kicked out a lot of the mulch and compost. And so it's been fairly well covered. Now, granted, we'll probably have more weed pressure in the areas where we haven't had a compost pit for a long time, but for a first year garden patch in this space, I think it'll be okay. And
work.
Yeah.
I mean, our garden did good last year, and it was first year getting it prepped. So.
Yeah. And gardens will always do better in successive years or after the first few years of going, because you get more organic matter built up, and everything starts breaking down and it's more absorbent. And so we may plant where the tarps are as well, even though the yields won't be nearly as good as what I expect the yields to be where you're standing, because that was where we had our compost pit at first, and it was there a good while, and it looks pretty rich because our dirt is not the color that you're seeing there. We have a little more of the more sandy. Yeah, no, it's not sand, but it's a little more sandy. Maybe more like what you're seeing here. You gonna throw the orange?
Good job.
Awesome. I'm glad you're walking barefooted. Mama needs to walk barefooted more often.
So does Daddy, but Daddy has puny feet. Puny as in sensitive.
Well, Mama too, because it needs to be a log so you can roll it across, and then you can really, like on Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, when they turn that log and he's like, ah! But yes, we need to walk barefooted outside more to do more grounding. It helps you connect. I wanted to show y'all real quick. Justin noticed on Sunday that some of our potatoes have come up. So, thankfully, I didn't have too horribly thick of a layer of leaves on those. It still may be thicker than maybe is optimal, but at least some potatoes are pushing on through. And then the onions that we planted as the dry bulbs are doing pretty well as well, both here and in the garden, because Justin and Jacob planted the garden ones. And then finally, this fig has decided to go ahead and start budding out. So we didn't lose this fig. Yay! We were a little concerned. And this one is a Celeste fig. The other one that came out earlier is, yeah, Texas Everbearing fig. Okay, so before we lose light, because we've got a lovely sunset going on here. Really quick, look at all the mustard and choy and spinach and collards and Swiss chard.
Turnips.
Are there turnips? Okay, maybe.
Right next to the garlic.
Okay. So maybe one of those I said wrong. But this is what I was coming to show y'all. Justin said, oh look, there are flowers on the peas. So that means we shall soon have some peas to harvest. Yay. It's so fun to see things starting to grow.
Is there some lettuce or still whatever I planted over there?
No, all that's weeds that I see. So still no lettuce. So we've had issues with lettuce this year. Not sure what the deal is on that, because we planted, I believe, early enough that it should have been just fine. And then our tomatoes are doing well.
We need to put that cage around it.
Yeah, we do need to put a tomato cage around it. We don't have many individual tomato cages, so our idea is to put a cage surrounding the entire area. But I want to get basil planted next to these tomatoes as part of companion planting, which is why we stopped at a farmer's market kind of shop on Monday and purchased some. So let's go look at those. So here is our haul from Monday. These aren't non-GMO, or at least it's not confirmed non-GMO, and they're not organic, but they were cheap. And even though we've tried to make a concerted effort to plant seeds, we got behind on timing. Of course, this spring was tricky on timing anyway, because we kept having freezes and stayed cold longer. And so it was like, well, I don't want to plant yet because it might die, but then it becomes too late to plant. So what we got were 12 strawberries, so 2 6-packs of those, and then a 6-pack of the ancho chili peppers. And then we got 6 basil plants, just sweet basil. This one is onion chive. We have garlic chives, but I wanted some onion chives. And then here is a rosemary, because my rosemary did not make it through the winter. And then 2 mojito mints. And Justin was really excited whenever I had him smell that one, because he's like, ooh, that's like the one that we brought back from Pennsylvania. So even though we got that mint, we most definitely will be bringing back some of the family mint the next time we go to Pennsylvania, because we want to keep the authentic Kooker mint. We don't know when the next time will be that we'll be able to get to Pennsylvania. So this mojito mint hopefully will tide us over until then. Well, I think that's all for today. Thank y'all for joining us. Have a blessed day.
Hey Cloud Hoppers, thanks for watching the video. Push the thumbs up to like the video. Also hit that subscribe button, also the bell, so that you can get notifications when our videos come out.
Check us out on our social media pages too. We have Facebook and Pinterest, and soon we'll have Instagram. The links are below. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Good job.